Okay, today we're going to do day 2 of 3-1. So continuing from what we did yesterday, we are going to graph our inequalities today. So we talked about it a little bit yesterday in class when we made our graphic organizer. So let's continue that discussion and let's look at some examples of graphing inequalities. So first, let's look at n is less than 1. So n is less than 1. We have a number line. I'm just going to put 1 in the middle. And just like when we talked about yesterday, we have an open circle because 1 is just basically a placeholder for the beginning of the line, but 1 is not a part of the solution. But it means that all numbers less than 1 are part of the solution except for 1. That's what n is less than 1 means. Let's look at a is greater than or equal to 0. So we have our number line, put 0 in the middle. This time, because it says a is greater than or equal to, 0 gets to be a part of the solution, so I'm going to shade it in solid, so I'm showing that the line begins at 0, and 0 is also a part of the solution. And because it says greater than, I'm going to go to the right. So a solid to point because it says greater than, shaded to the right. Sorry, a solid point because it says equal to, shaded to the right because it's greater than. All right, let's look at f is greater than -3. Number line, -3. It does not have the equal to part, so it only gets an open circle showing that the line begins here, and it goes to the right because greater than goes to the right. And then finally, x is less than or equal to -2. -2 goes in the middle. Solid because it says equal to the left because it's less than. So all numbers that are less than -2 are part of the solution. Alright, let's look at one that, this one's kind of tricky. This one is 2 is greater than or equal to a. We do not like problems that look like this, so what I suggest you do is you read it backwards and write it as you say it. So if I read this backwards, it says a is less than or equal to 2. So I'm going to write a is less than or equal to 2. And you can tell if you did it right because notice how this guy's pointing at a, and when I rewrote it, it's pointing at a. So I know that I did not mix up the sign. So it says a is less than or equal to 2. If I was to graph that, put a 2 here, shade it in, and go to the left. So notice that here it kind of looked like it went the other way, but when I write it correctly, I can tell that it definitely goes to the left. Right? So we always want to rewrite if it's written backwards so that we have the variable on the left side of the equation. So now let's go the other way. This time I'm going to give you a line, and we're going to write the inequality. So here's an example. Alright, on this one we're going to start with the inequality. So we're going to start with this number line. We're going to put some numbers on this number line. -1, 0, 1, 2. Looks like this, and it goes this way. So this would be x. We can use any number A through Z. We're going to say x is, because it's pointing to the right, is greater than. Because it's solid, we're going to put the equal to. So x is greater than or equal to -1. So this means all numbers are part of the solution if they're greater than or equal to -1. Alright, let's look at number 2. So we have a number line. On this number line, let's go ahead and put in a few of these numbers. Right, and it's going to go this way. So this one is x, right, any number that is less than, because the line is pointing to the left. I don't have to put the equal to part because this is an open circle, and then I put -2. So this means all numbers that are less than -2 are part of the solution. -2 is not included because it has an open circle. Alright, let's do a couple more practice problems. Alright, so this one you try, and then we'll see if we get it right. So you're going to write an inequality. for this inequality. T is less than -4. Alright, so pause the video, see if you did it right, and then restart the video when you think you have the right answer. Okay, so let's see if you did it right. -4, open circle because it just says less than, it doesn't say less than or equal to the left because it says less than. Alright, did you do a good job? If so, call yourself a superstar. Let's do number 2. This time we're going to have a graph, and you're going to write the inequality from the graph. So the graph looks like this. Okay, now pause the video and see if you can write the inequality that goes with this graph. Alright, so let's see if you did it right. X is greater than or equal to, did you remember to put the equal to part because it was solid? And then we start at 2. Alright, so greater than because it goes to the right, equal to because it's shaded in, and then 2. Alright, tomorrow we will do some mix and match activities in class, so that will be exciting. So make sure you have these notes ready to go. See you guys tomorrow.